Well, if it isn't one thing, it's gonna be another.
For the rest of the video gets started, I just wanted to touch base on how things are going with our robot barn here. We've had the new robots here for 4 months now, and we're really pleased with how the robots are working. They're way better than the old robots. There's one thing we're really struggling with them. What we're struggling with isn't really even the robots really, it's more the cows really haven't wanted to come up to the new robots, which is really puzzling us for some reason, because the new robots are giving the cows a way better experience in the stall itself. The robots are way gentler on the cows, so we're really confused on why that is. We've tried messing with the pellets. We feed all the cows pellets. Cows get fed a pellet into their bowl like that they get to eat. It's supposed to really help to encourage them to come up and actually eat at the robot. And we tried increasing that, and that didn't really even help at all. So then we had to try to figure out different alternatives. The main name, I guess, that y'all for our issues, our turns is really low. So what the turns means is how many times a cow comes to the robot and gets milk. So we're really trying to help increase our turns. What we're doing to solve our problem is we ended up putting force flow in our barn. So what that means is that we put finger gates by the waters, as you can kind of see down there. There's finger gates there, right there. So those are the finger gates that used to be like right here. This used to be finger gates right here. And there used to be finger gates kind of over there on the other side of the cows. So the way it used to work is for a cow to get milk, they just have to come in this used to be like a pen, it still is a pen, but they come in the pen and they just go get milk, and they can kind of roam throughout the whole barn freely and do whatever they want. To try and solve our problem of cows not going to the robots, what we decided to do is put in force flow. So what that means is now, after a cow gets milk, they go out to what we call the feed side, the feed alley, which is over there. So now a cow can eat and lay down in the stalls on that side freely and whenever it wants. Now, but the thing that's changed now is that when a cow wants to get water, it has to go through those finger gates down there. So the reasoning behind that is, so now if a cow wants to get water, they have to come through the finger gates. They can't go back to the finger gates. The only way to get back to the feed is they come through the sort gate here. What the sort gate does is basically a cow comes through, and there's this reader right here. This reads the cow's ID, and if the cow doesn't need to be milked, it gets to go walk straight through and goes back to the feed alley. And if the cow does have to get milked, this gate stops the cow, so that way they can register which one it is. And this one opens, and then they'll turn and go into the back holding pen. And then they just get milked, and they can go back to the feed alley. I'll bring a cow in here to kind of show you what I'm all trying to say. You can visually see kind of how the gate works. The second full day that we're using these sort gates here, and it's like 11:30 right now. So what we're doing is every couple hours we're having a couple animals that we know that need to get milked, just kind of get them down here by the gate and just walk them through, so that way they get used to going through. And so after a couple days here, we're gonna kind of just get hands off and let them figure it out for themselves. But for now, like I said, I came up here at 11:30 last night, and about the same time tonight, and then also I'm coming back up at 3:30, and we're gonna do the same thing there, and then someone comes up at 6:30 to kind of help escort some of the animals that are a little bit farther out that need to get milked through the sort gate here. Right now, Duke and I are working on a little bit of a project. We got our manure spreader in the shop here, and what we're trying to do is, this gear right here has some teeth that are chipped really bad. What that's doing is makes it so this chain keeps falling off. And so we're going to replace that gear, but to do that, you have to take all the stuff off. So you have that goes on here, and then also the flapper that goes on here, just so you can get to this, because all the hammers have to come out. So we got everything pulled apart for that, so now I'm going to work on getting that gear off, so that way we can work on getting the shaft out. So we got it all pulled apart now, and so this is just what the gears look like. So obviously like that teeth and these couple teeth here are really chipped off. So that's just happens when stuff gets aged and stuff. So got a new gear here ready, so we can put it back in tomorrow. So as you can see here, we have a bit of a situation. So we have this hydrant right here that is in the middle of our shop here. And so it wasn't originally in the middle of the shop here. So originally this was all this right here was part of the shop, and then we added on, and so this was on the outside originally. So now it's to the inside once we add on to the shop here. So this line is broke somewhere in between here and outside out there. So we were just first dug down here to see if it was like by elbow here, but it isn't. So now what we're gonna have to do is we have a mini excavator, and we're gonna dig up our driveway, and we're just gonna put a new line in, and we're gonna dig this trench all the way around to the top. And then the easiest thing we've decided on doing here is we're just gonna come underneath the wall and just hook it in here, so that way we don't have to dig up all the concrete. So either way we look at it, it's gonna be a hard situation, but this is gonna be the easiest way to do it here. Anyone who's wondering what this is, our neighbors have a boring company. So basically what this does is the black line is basically like a power washer. So this basically sprays all the dirt, so that way it loosens it up. And the other line here is like suction, so it sucks up all the dirt and stuff. So the easiest thing we compared it to is like my dad and I compared it to like if anyone washes Bering Sea Gold Rush, which basically it's like one of like the little small dredgers they use to suck up like all the material from the bottom of the sea floor. That's basically what this does here. So we got the old line right here, and we got it cut. So then we got a new piece on here, so that's just gonna go that way, and we'll get all around. So this has been like this since first crop. The last load we did, and it was like dark out. So this has been like this since first crop. The last load we did, and it was like dark out from our farther away fields that we were doing. We were trying to unload this, and all of a sudden I saw that there's like a ball of chain out the back, and so yeah, this is the aftermath here. So it was all like in a ball here. That's why the headlights, like the taillights, all cracked up there. But what ended up happening is like a lot of the chain, like a lot of these bars here, this is like goes completely. It's enough chain that goes completely to the front of the trailer underneath, and then parts of it in the front don't have any of the bars in it. So what we think happened is, me and my dad just got done looking at this, is if you look, so like going along all the way to the front, on this side there's this board that runs the whole length. So what that does is to keep these bars from like catching on like the grooves of the trailer, like the 8 I-frames that go across. So what we think happened is that board is not where it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be right here and run down the whole length. So what we think happened is, now what happens is that chain can lay on the I-frames, and we think it might have caught somewhere, and then that's what tore all the sides off, because that board is where it's supposed to be over there. So that's why this side of the chain is fine. So we're trying to figure out what we can actually do to fix this, if we can just use something, because these are rivets that held it to the actual chain. We're trying to figure out if we can fix it, or if we're gonna have to buy a whole new chain for this. Now we're trying to use our little jackhammer here to pull out this pin, so that way we can disattach this from the actual trailer, so we can go move the trailer, and then we'll figure out what we can do to fix all this mess. The spreader's fixed. Water hydrant's fixed. Is not fixed yet. We have the parts, just gotta get to it. What we end up having to do is we're gonna have to get a whole new chain for this thing, but we got the chain picked up now, so we're just gonna get the time, we'll fix it all back together and have this thing ready to go again.